Today's interest is on Isaac Omolo Okero, whose nickname in his vernacular was Rayier. Rayier means the bearded one. He was the MP for Game between 1969 and 1979. I do not know whether Game had an MP before Arguing Kothek, because to the best of my recollection, the first MP for Game was Arguing Kothek. Now, if there was any before, anybody can comment at the comment section. But I know Arguing Kothek started politics in Nairobi and found it hard to dislodge Tom Mboya. So he went to Siaya. Whether Game was a new constituency or Game had another MP, I do not know. But when he was the MP there, he died while he was an MP, either on the first week of February or the last week of January in 1969. He died just next to Yaya Center, and if you want to see the place where he died, I have already recorded a video on that, so you can scroll down and see where he died. When he died, he was the MP for Game. A by-election was held, and the person who won the by-election was Wasonga Sijeyo. Wasonga Sijeyo. But Wasonga Sijeyo did not stay for long, because during the time when most of the MPs were defecting, most of the MPs, especially from those areas, were crossing over and joining KPU, Wasonga Sijeyo was one of them. So those days, and I've always, if you look at my videos, I'm always emphasizing on people who changed the constitution and why it was changed. Like the constitution was changed to make a president be over 35 years because somebody wanted to block Tom Mboya from being the president. And when MPs, okay, it was not in Luo Nyanza alone where people joined KPU. Achieng' Oneko was an MP for Nakuru and he crossed over to KPU. Bildad Kagia was the MP for Kandara in Moranga. He crossed over to join KPU. And then the constitution was changed such that, you know, those days when you are crossing, just like KADU people crossed over to KANU, and Martin Chikuk was the last one to cross. Those days you just had to cross, reach the middle, bow down to the speaker, then cross, go to the other side, and you'll have joined the other political party. But the government then, or even the ruling party then, KANU, came up with the law that is still there up to today, which said that if you reach a place and you do not agree with the political party that took you to parliament, then you have to resign and seek the electors' blessing. That is the genesis. It started with the KPU people when they crossed over. And when Wasonga Sijeyo crossed over, call it rigging, call it whatever you want to call it, but it ended up with him not winning. That is now when Isaac Omolo Okero, alias Rayier, won that election and became the minister and whatever. But allow me to go back to his history. In 1952, Isaac Omolo Okero organized for a strike among the undergraduates in Makerere University. He was expelled and came back to Kenya. When he went back to Kenya in 1953, he won a scholarship to go and study in Bombay University. And then, after he graduated from Bombay, he went to London and started a second degree, which was a law degree. In 1959, he was called to the bar in London and became a lawyer. That is 1959. In 1969, he opened a law firm in Kisumu. He opened a law firm in Kisumu, 1969. It is the same 1969 that he was elected as the MP for Game. When he was elected as the MP for Game, he was made the national chairman of KANU. Why was he elected? Why was he made the national chairman of KANU? Remember, the same 1969, two prominent Luo politicians had died. The first one to die was Arkwin Kothek. He's the MP. The second one to die a few months later was Tom Mboya. So Tom Mboya was the Secretary General for KANU. And Tom Mboya, being the Secretary General for KANU, when he died or was killed or was assassinated, his deputy, Robert Matano, from the coast, was made the acting Secretary General. So Robert Matano became the acting Secretary General for the duration of Jomo Kenyatta's life, from 1969 up to 1979, when he was confirmed to his seat. Now, there was a problem. Luo Nyanza was in KPU, and an official had, the officials, national officials, secretary, treasurer, whatever, chairman, had to come from all corners of the country. And so, it was decided that the national chairman seat be taken to Nyanza. And who took that? It was Isaac Omolo Okero. So in 1969, he becomes an MP. 1969, he becomes a minister. 1969, he becomes the national chairman of KANU, the third most senior person in KANU. The most senior was President Jomo Kenyatta, and the deputy vice president of KANU was Daniel Arap Moi from Rift Valley, Jomo Kenyatta from Central, and from Nyanza, it was Isaac Omolo Okero. From Western, it was, the organizing secretary was Nathan Waliaula Hwamunoko. Which other part have I forgotten? Coast. It went on that way. You remember, in 1974, he won the election again. But in 1974, KANU had been split into two. There was the Change the Constitution team, and there was the Moi team. So Moi, for people from Dagoretti, you remember, Moi, Njonjo, and Kibaki had to prop up Dr. Muthiora. And in Nyanza, the Moi team found a willing person, 1974, a willing person who was to sing to their song. And from Luo Nyanza, they found a person called David Okiki Amayo. So in 1974, when elections were done, the person who won the Karachuonyo seat was David Oluoch Opar. David Oluoch Opar won the elections, but he was rigged out by the Njonjo team, and they placed there David Okiki Amayo. That was 1974. So you see, Isaac Omolo Okero was neither for the Kihika Kimani team, nor was he for the Njonjo team. He was a kichwa ngumu. So nobody missed him. But he won the election in 1974 for Game constituency. 1978, Jomo Kenyatta died. When Jomo Kenyatta died, Moi took over all the ministers who were with Kenyatta. He could not drop anybody. But he didn't like the Isaac Omolo Okero. If there is anything that Moi hated, was an independent-minded person. And if you talk about independent-minded person, Isaac Omolo Okero's name comes to mind. So, in 1979, Isaac Omolo Okero was rigged out. And who was taken in? Otieno Ambala. Otieno Ambala, for those who have come from Game, you'll understand that the first MP was Arguings Kothek. Then the second one, Wasonga Sijeyo. The third one, Isaac Omolo Okero. The fourth one, Ambala. The fifth one, Horace Ongili. And Horace Ongili, you remember his death. If you don't know, please scroll down. I have talked about it. Isaac Omolo Okero then left politics. He retired from politics, and he was appointed Kenya Airways chairman. He was appointed the Kenya Airways chairman, and he spearheaded the taking over. I mean, you remember Kenya Airways and KLM joined together to modernize. He did that, and I think, was it 2009 when he retired then? He is back to his home, and every Thursday between 11 p.m. to midnight, he is among the people, me included, Francis Atwoli included, and all others, that James Onyango Joel does not miss to mention us. So every time you hear him mentioning Mheshimiwa Isaac Omolo Okero, he is still alive and healthy. And he's not just him as a lawyer. I think being a lawyer even went to his children. One or more of his children became a lawyer. Thank you.